Hello and welcome to the Everyday Mathematics Assessment Differentiation System Quick Start videos. The Assessment Differentiation System, or the ADS, is made up of 4 sections. We're in the assessment section right now. That's the progress monitoring. There's a report section where we'll see reports based on the data that we enter into the assessment section. And there's an activities section where we have over 900 differentiated activities to bring students back up to speed on specific skills and concepts. And we also have a test generator where we can create more quizzes or extra practice, and we also have all the progress checks and the embedded assessment within Everyday Mathematics available digitally that way. So I'm in grade 2. I'm going to look at unit 10. So I'm at unit 10. I'm going to pull all of the Recognizing Student Achievement, the folder, over into the center. And I'm going to see that I have my class roster here. It's a very easy way to collect this data. I can click this one button, Score All Students, and there I have all the students making adequate progress. And then I can go through and say, okay, these 3 kids did not make adequate progress, and Emily was absent that day, so I don't want to score her on that. This will actually be in October. We're going to have this as a web-enabled mobile site, so you'll be able to do this on your mobile device in your classroom, walking around the classroom, recording this data as you observe the students in the Recognizing Student Achievement part of the Everyday Mathematics lesson. So I'm going to close out of that checklist, and I'm going to pull over the progress checklist. Again, it's a one click, and then I can go through and adjust as I need to. All of the parts of the progress check are here. I can look at the written part A and the written part B and the open response. If I mouse over the item number, this is question number 3. It's write a 5-digit number, identify the place values. It's going to tell me what standards were addressed in that item. So as I go across, I can see what the item, how it relates to the Common Core State standards. So I can also download this data into a CSV file by clicking this icon, and I can print out individual profiles of progress by clicking the print icon. That covers the introduction to the assessment section. Be sure to check out the report section video to learn more about how the data that you enter into the assessment section will deliver information for you to customize and differentiate your instruction for your students. Thank you. Hello, welcome to part 2 of the Everyday Mathematics Assessment Differentiation System tutorial videos. Right now we're going to talk about section 2, the report section. So we'll select reports there in the top corner. And now we have a list of classes here. I am going to select the ADS class, grade 2. I'm going to look at a summary report. I want to look at the Common Core State Standards. I'm going to leave it as a summative, but I could select formative, open response, or my own assessments. I'm going to leave this time period as to date, but I could customize the dates. And I will say I want to highlight everything that's green. I'm going to set the standard here and say that if the student is performing it 9 out of 10 times or getting this right, I'm going to say they're green and good to go. Okay, so what I have here is I have all the domains, and as I open these domains, I'm going to have clusters and standards, and it's going to give me an idea where my class stands. So my class is scoring solidly in the 80s. And my school averages are roughly the same as are the district averages. As more data is input, you'll see the differences in that. So you can put the nice thing is you can review how well your class is doing against your school, other classes in your school, as well as other schools in your district. So let's say that I think that a couple of kids might need some help in this standard, and I can take a look. I click on that little icon of a magnifying glass, and now I can look and see how all the students have done. So Darren has gotten 9 of 12. The answer is correct. Tara has gotten 10 of 12, but Neil may need some help here. So I may open this up. If I open the class up over here, I'm going to get a list of students. I'm going to close that. So then I'm going to pull Neil over by himself. Again, I'm going to select Common Core Standards, and I can select that in my profile as well if I want to always view things through Common Core Standards. Again, I'll set my threshold at 90. So now I can see specifically how well Neil is doing. So I can see that Neil seems to be struggling with this standard. Of course, it's early. It's early in the year, and it's the amount of assessments that you have. You can see you've really maybe gotten to about 20-25% of the assessments so far. This bar at the end would be completing all of the assessments, and so this bar will progressively fill this chart, and then as you'll be able to see, do you have more blue than you have yellow? The blue will is telling you that the students are answering the questions correctly, and the yellow tells you they're missing them, and then this gray area is telling you how much more time you have and more assessments that you have regarding that specific standard. So this is a list of assessments. In lesson 1, I assessed his progress, and I said no, he did not meet adequate progress. And lesson 1 again, he did not meet adequate progress. As we go through, so these are all the assessments opportunities that I had with the student, and those were how I rated the student. But at this point, I can actually go and assign specific activities to the student. So I have gone in here previously and I have assigned these 3. So let's unassign those and show you how easy it is to assign these activities. Now we'll go in part 3, we'll show you the activities, and we'll show you more about how those activities are built and what resources you have available to you. But what's nice about this is the report is telling me that he needs some help in a specific standard. Now I have those activities are directly related to that standard. They're correlated to those standards, and now I've assigned them to him. I can also print out an individual profile of progress by clicking this icon, the printer icon, and I can send that home. And I can also download this data into a CSV file that I can access with Excel, or that I can upload into another progress monitoring system if I have a particular one that my school uses for all of the disciplines rather than just for math. So that about does it for the reports. The next video we'll be talking about the activities. We'll go into a little bit more about the activities. So please click on the next link and review the activities, and I hope these reports help you customize your instruction to your students. Thank you. Okay, welcome back. And now, since we've looked at our reports and our reports have pointed us to specific activities, let's take a look at those activities. So again, we can select what the lenses we want to view these activities through. Do we want to look at the Everyday Math grade level goals or the Common Core Standards? So let's select the Common Core Standards. Let's select grade 2. Of course, I can select any grade I want. I have the domains. Underneath the domains, I'm going to have the clusters, and underneath those clusters, I'm going to have specific standards. And then underneath these standards, I'm going to have a list of activities. So these start with the easiest activity, and they go down to the hardest activity. So in each of these activities, I'm going to have a set of 3 tabs across the top. I have a tab for teachers, tab for students, and a tab for games. The teacher page, and we'll just open this PDF really quickly. Kind of reduce the size of this so it fits in that screen. And take a look. There's some instruction here. A lot of times there's an example. It tells you what the materials are. If there's a prerequisite skill, it's a small group activity that's 5 to 15 minutes long. There are going to be some review boxes. There's also a game to play. And then these are the answers. These are the minis of the student pages along with the answers. Of course, the student tab is just going to have the student pages without the answers. I can view them all. It'll download a PDF. I can print them out in one click. And then we also have the game. So this is the penny plate game. I have an online, the online teacher's guide to games. I have this as an ebook. I can click on this and navigate to where I need to go. And this is the master from the Math Masters for the penny plate game. And that's going to be what you have for each one of these activities. Sometimes there's a game, sometimes there isn't. Sometimes it references the online facts practice game, the facts workshop game. But all of these activities, I can browse I can either approach these activities because I understand that my student is struggling with understanding place value, and I can look at the standards and I can figure that out and decide I want to use this activity. I can go in here and browse through the activities and find what I need. Or if I've input the data from the RSAs, the Recognizing Student Achievement, and the progress checks, and the other built-in assessment that I have in Everyday Mathematics, I can read those reports, and from the reports section I can make assignments. So there are maybe 900 of these across all the grade levels, 900 to 1,000 of these activities. These are all new activities but they are based on the familiar kind of activities that students have been doing in Everyday Mathematics. So the next video will be about the test generator, and so stay tuned for that. Thank you.